Did you know decluttering isn't supposed to mean emptying your closet or your cabinets or your bedroom and creating a bigger mess than you started with? It's definitely what we think of, though. I mean, how many television shows have we seen do it this way? Or even on social media, how satisfying is it seeing this huge mess that slowly gets smaller and smaller? So if that's not the right way, then how should you do it? Well, I'm glad you asked. Hi friends, it's Audrey back for another episode, and today I will be giving you a beginner's guide to decluttering. So as always, grab your notebook and your pen and let's get started. Just to remind you, my long form videos are strictly follower requests. You pick the topic and I create the content. So if there's a topic you want covered, let me know in the comments. Our next video for Sunday will be a look at parting with sentimental items. Okay, if you're ready to keep going, hit the like button and I'll dive in. Before we get too far into this video, I want to warn you that if you watch all of my content, you're going to hear familiar tips and terms. That's because what I teach is sustainable. It's timeless. It doesn't change. How I teach you is how I learned. How I live is how I teach you. So at times, some things may sound repetitive. That's okay. That's what you want. The more you hear it, the more likely it is to stick. Let's cover a couple very important pieces to decluttering. The first is my magic question that I have all of my followers and clients use on their clutter. That question is, can I live without it? We were all taught decluttering meant to ask, do I need this? No, absolutely not. Need gets your brain stuck in this cycle. What if this? What if that? Because you already own it, you've spent money on it, it's in your home, your brain overvalues it. To avoid the pain of the mistake of getting rid of it, your brain chooses what's safest, which is to keep it. Thus, you continue in this cycle. With need, you can justify keeping anything, from that one Tupperware lid to that magic box of buttons from shirts you tossed in the 2000s. The what ifs are endless. This is where my magic question of can I live without it comes in. Normally, when we declutter, the burden is on us. We have to justify why we want to keep something. This creates stress, overthinking, and those what ifs. By asking, can I live without it? You flip the question. The burden is now on the item. It has to prove its value or relevance in your life. If it can't demonstrate that it deserves to stay, it's free to go. You're no longer wrestling with the decision. You're just observing what's so clear and plain. In other words, instead of you proving why it belongs, the item has to prove why it stays. It makes decluttering faster, easier, and far less emotionally draining. So that's the first piece to decluttering, remembering that you have to ask, can I live without it? Next, let's move on to the second important piece, which is my S.U.M method, S.U.M. This, along with the magic question, takes all the thinking out of decluttering. But more than that, it takes the emotion out of decluttering too. The S.U.M method is basically a list of criteria, and each item has to fit all three criteria to gain approval to stay in your home. Let's take a look at the criteria. S.U.M. S is for space. Do I have space for it? The item doesn't just need to be able to fit inside your house. You have to have a designated home for it. If it's sitting on the counter because you can't fit it in the drawer, then you don't have space for it. If you have to shove it into a cabinet and then close the door quickly so it doesn't fall out, you don't have space for it. So that was the S in S.U.M. S for space. The next criteria is U. U for utilization. Do I use it? Be ruthless. If the last time you used it was 3 years ago, then you aren't using it. Heck, if you aren't using it every month or every few months, then you aren't using it. So that's the U. U for utilization. Finally, M. M is for maintenance. We're creating our own little organized chaos alphabet here, aren't we? So M for maintenance. Can I maintain it? Do I have the capacity to clean it, repair it, store it, keep it organized? If an item makes your maintenance mode, which you'll remember from our last video, maintenance mode is tidying and cleaning. So if an item makes your maintenance mode harder, it fails the test. Run each item in your home through the criteria S.U.M, and if it doesn't pass all three, you will get rid of it. All three. Even if it passes 2 of the 3, you're still getting rid of it. So if you say, well, I have space, I can keep it maintained, but I really only use it like once a year, then you need to part with it. So using the magic question and the S.U.M method, you have a full arsenal to begin the actual work of decluttering. So let's move on to the steps of decluttering. If you're still with me and want to continue, drop a heart in the comments. Okay, so you're probably thinking, if you already told me we're not dragging everything out, then how are we supposed to declutter? Simple. We are going to use my as-you-go approach. So the traditional way to declutter is to pull everything out. This creates peak chaos. In the beginning of a decluttering project, you are super motivated and ready to make a big change. Your eyes are bigger than your stomach, so to speak. So you pull everything out and you start working through it all. But then between the physical labor of lugging everything out and the mental labor of having to emotionally go through your possessions, you run out of steam fast. My as-you-go approach is the opposite of that. It's all about sustainability. Are you getting tired of hearing me talk about the importance of sustainable methods? I'm sorry, but sustainability is the difference between winning the battle and winning the war. Think of a crash diet. You starve yourself, lose a bunch of weight quickly, and then you gain it all right back and then some because it wasn't sustainable. The as-you-go approach is designed to bypass burnout. It's realistic. You can stick with it. So the as-you-go approach, what is it? It's exactly what it sounds like. You declutter as you go. It's organic. As you move throughout your day and you come across something that you aren't using, you toss it in a basket or a bucket, a bin, something centralized in your home. I call it the chuck it bucket. When the bucket is full, you take it to the donation center. I have an article and a short form video about this. I'll leave the links for each of those in the description box. This all sounds simple enough, right? We rarely find time to get these things done. There are just not enough hours in the day. With the as-you-go approach, you don't have to fit it in or rearrange your schedule. You're simply moving through your day like normal, but being more mindful about it. Does that make sense? Do you need me to explain that in more detail? Let me know. Believe it or not, we're still not done. We still have a few very important things to cover. So if you want me to keep going, subscribe to my channel, comment I subscribe below, and we'll finish up strong. Now, if you're thinking, well, I do want to pencil in time to declutter sometimes, that's great. Then you'll do what I call the micro purge. Grab a box, set a 10 or 15 minute timer, pick a drawer or a cabinet, follow the S.U.M method and the magic question, and start tossing items in. Notice, you're not pulling everything out. You're just clearing the field so you can get down to the meat and potatoes. Once you've done this with a drawer or a cabinet, you can then pull the remaining items out and organize the leftovers. With the micro purge, you can still make an impact quickly, but this way it's, and here's that word again, sustainable. It's important to remember that decluttering never ends. It's never complete. As long as you are living, consuming, interacting with the world, clutter will keep happening. Accepting that makes life so much easier. Just like a house will always need tidied, laundry will always need doing, clutter will continue entering your home. If you have a lot of excess, then major decluttering is a project. But once you're finished, maintenance decluttering will become a habit, not a project. If you think of decluttering as a destination, you will always be frustrated. So just remember, one thing in, one thing out. If you're living in lots of excess, then turn that into one thing in, two things out. By living that way every day, mathematically, you will end up on top, period. It's vital that you don't put a clock on it. Don't be focused on being done. Think of it like a runner in a marathon. They aren't only focused on the finish line. They're focused on one foot in front of the other. If you fixate only on the finish line, you will get overwhelmed, burn out, anxious, and you'll most likely quit before you even start. And that's it. We have come to the end of our beginner's guide to decluttering. Does that help you get started? Do you have any more questions? Let me know in the comments. Remember, the more you, my subscribers, interact with my videos, the more YouTube will push the videos onto other people's feed, increasing its reach. So please take a second, leave me a comment or a like. I'd be so thankful. I love you all, and I will see you on Sunday.